I'm here at the intersection of Rogers Road and High Hill Road in Darlington, where two cars collided yesterday, causing damage to this home right over here, leaving the homeowner wondering what's next. It all happened within a matter of seconds for Mary Ross and her brother.
And I was laying there looking at TV, and I just heard tearing the walls down coming in. That's all I jumped up.
South Carolina Highway Patrol says that a Chevy pickup collided with a Toyota Sedan at the intersection of Rogers and High Hill Roads. That sent the Chevy truck into Ross's home and the Toyota hitting 3 other cars, leaving Ross in shock.
Scary. Real scary.
She says this is the second time a vehicle has hit her home. Ross says people aren't stopping at the nearby stop sign and feels something needs to change.
I put up a stoplight one, maybe they'll do better. A red light, something.
But until that happens, she says she's glad her and her family are safe.
I'm real thankful. I'm real thankful. Thank God.
Troopers say the driver of the Toyota Sedan was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver and the passenger in the pickup were taken to the hospital.
She is now recovering at home and doing well, but she says she has to learn to walk again. She tells me that she was in a fight for her life and believes all of that could have been spared if she had just gotten vaccinated. 41-year-old LaShawna Watson Baker is well known in the Robeson County town of Fairmont. So when she got sick with coronavirus, everyone knew it and prayed she'd get better.
It was a fight, and I needed my whole town and every church and everybody that was praying for me. I needed that.
LaShawna spent 12 days in the hospital, many of those days in the ICU and on a ventilator.
The doctors and the nurses, I remember them telling me that I was going to go on a ventilator and I wasn't going to come off. And then they called my family in and told them the same thing after I got unconscious, that I wasn't going to make it until the next morning.
Amazingly, she pulled through and came home Monday. LaShawna believes her near-death experience with COVID-19 could have been avoided if she'd been vaccinated.
I took my life for granted, and I should have never did that. I should have been vaccinated.
Public health officials tell me vaccination rates have improved over the past 2 days in Robeson County. They've seen more than 100 people a day come in to be vaccinated compared to fewer than 20 people per day last week.
People are getting, I think, a little more worried because they know a lot of younger people who are being hospitalized and are having more complications with the COVID virus, and I'm sure it doesn't help that they're doing the gift card incentives. So that has brought some people in that may not have otherwise been vaccinated.
Sense the anger and frustration in Mike Ritchie's voice as we spoke, and though he was masked, his eyes told a story of deepening despair. Mike Ritchie has spent many long hours at Conway Medical Center, risking his own health to save others.
There was a time of relief. There was a time when I thought maybe this was going to be behind us. And about the beginning of July, things started going bad again.
So bad, leaders at Conway Medical Center are setting the triage tents back up in the parking lot. For Ritchie, it's a sign we're going backwards.
I cried a little bit. I got really angry. It wouldn't need to be up if people had gotten vaccinated sooner and often.
CMC does not allow any visitors in the emergency department except for pediatric and elderly patients. Our cameras weren't allowed inside, but the emergency nursing staff gives us a view from the inside.
And every time we look up and see a waiting room full of people, it just makes our hearts sink. From the doctors all the way down to the support housekeeping staff, everyone is under extra pressure right now.
Ritchie's badge shows a smiling face. That smile has since been wiped away.
Sometimes some uncontrollable crying. When I think about it, how overwhelming it can be. This has been going on long enough. Everybody knows the right thing to do, and those who aren't doing are being neglectful and, at the least, severely irresponsible.
At worst,
just plain horrible to other people.
Ritchie's seeing the vaccine's impact firsthand.
The people who have been vaccinated are far less sick than the people who've not been vaccinated.
Through long hours, tears, and exhaustion, there remains a compassionate heart.
I'm still here to help people. We all are, and we will help whoever comes in here regardless.
And Nurse Ritchie says these uptick in COVID cases is causing a ripple effect in the emergency department. He says the wait times have become longer for people who are not dealing with COVID.
Now, doctors are saying that pregnant women are more susceptible to being admitted to the ICU and being put on a ventilator. Today, we spoke to 2 pregnant women who say they got vaccinated to protect themselves and their babies.
I had no doubts whatsoever getting the COVID vaccine.
For Megan Jackson, there were no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She was getting the vaccine at 8 weeks pregnant.
And taking care of yourself is the absolute foremost thing that you can do for your unborn child.
That protection coming in the form of antibodies the mother passes to her baby.
But newborns don't have much of an immune system, so a vaccine doesn't offer them the kind of protection that the mom does either during the pregnancy or when she's breastfeeding.
OBGYN Dr. John Cuellar does note the antibodies don't last forever, but as long as the mother is breastfeeding, the antibodies are provided to the newborn.
It wasn't for me, it was for my baby.
The main reason Julianne May decided to get vaccinated.
We felt like it was a smart thing to do for our children.
Still, she understands it's a personal decision.
But just look into it. I would say get the facts. Get the facts.
We know there's something like almost 200,000 women who've had the vaccine, either not knowing they were pregnant or choosing to have the vaccine for their own safety and the safety of their baby. And those almost 200,000 women have not shown to have any risks or any complications or any issues for themselves or their fetus.
Facts Dr. Cuellar can now lean on when talking to his patients.
It gave me a lot of peace of mind that we have something that we can sort of point to as an authoritative group saying, yes, this is a good idea. We should be doing this.
Saying pregnant women are more susceptible to COVID.
Because of the changes in the immune system in pregnancy.
The knowledge is out there that you're protecting yourself, you're protecting your baby, just to go ahead and get the vaccine.
And of course, doctors encourage any pregnant women out there who still have some hesitancy about the vaccine, have a conversation with your doctor before you make your final decision.